Recently in the news regarding race relations are two stories. One of the Michael Brown shooting and the massacre of two New York police officers. The Michael Brown shooting. Michael Brown was an unarmed 18-year-old black male. He was shot multiple times and killed on August 9th by a white Ferguson police officer. According to St. Louis Police Department, Brown was walking down the middle of the street with a friend when a Ferguson police officer tried to exit the vehicle. Brown pushed the officer back into the police car and entered the car, and a struggle ensued over Wilson's weapon. A shot was fired inside the car. Wilson and Brown exited the vehicle, and that's when the fatal shooting occurred. According to the autopsy released, Brown was shot 6 times, including once in the eye and once to the crown of the head. The shot to the crown of the head was his fatal wound. To friends and family, Brown was described as a teenager as a gentle giant who was starting college in a day or two at a technical school. His teachers told St. Louis Dispatch that he fought hard to graduate high school. He had earned various points for being a member of junior ROTC and the football team. Brown eventually wanted to own his own business. On November 25th, Wilson was not indicted for the shooting of Michael Brown. FBI was said to have recommended not to prosecute him for civil rights violation. After the death of Michael Brown, riots broke out all over the city, and it was civil unrest. The monuments made for Michael Brown by friends and family members were said to have been destroyed by police officers and had dogs urinate on them. The second story involves the murder of 2 officers who had been sitting in their marked police car by Ishmael Brinsley. He was said to be avenging the death of Eric Gardner, who had been choked to death by Staten Island police, and Michael Brown, who had been shot by an officer in Ferguson. He had also been suspected of shooting his girlfriend in the abdomen earlier that day. He had been posting threats on Instagram like, "Putting wings on pigs today. You take one of ours, we'll take 2 of yours. This may be my final post." He had also been posting pictures of the gun that was later found in his person. He reportedly said, "I'd rather die a gangster than sleep a coward," and #shoot the police. The Baltimore police had been tried to warn New York City Police Department that he was coming. The warning came in 5 minutes before the shooting occurred. It was in the wake of the decision not to indict the officer who choked Gardner, ending in his killing. The police officers were said to never had a chance to pull their guns or even see the assailant. Police chased him into the subway where he killed himself. He had a police record dating back to 2006. Not thinking about this as a race relation stories, thinking about it as in a purses versus the police story, one of us being the people, not black or white, and the pigs being the police force, not black and not white. A matter of people being oppressed and controlled by the police department is more of the story for this one. After looking at both cases, I think that neither of them are a racially motivated killing or occurrence. I think their race was an scapegoat used to get both of these stories heard, because the people controlling our country are in charge of making choices about who gets in, what trials go to court and what don't. They see everything as black and white, but most of our country, I guess you could say, are colorblind, because they don't see a difference between if a person's black or if a person's white. They're both a people, they're both male or female. And race is just an scapegoat used to get...
Scapegoat, not the scapegoat.
Scapegoat. Used to have the distribution of power between officers, the whole police force, and the general public have it more heard. When Brinsley says that we're going to put wings on pigs today, he doesn't say we're going to put wings on white pigs. He just says we're going to put wings on pigs. Pigs being the police force. And neither of the police officers that he killed were white. One was Hispanic and the other was Asian. Both falling into the minority category of people alongside the black race. Black, not race. And one of us not being a black person or a white person, being a human being. He says, you take one of us, we'll take two of yours. Us, he didn't say, take two black people and we'll take two white cops. Just says us, being the general population of people who feel oppressed by the distribution of officer power.